Oscar Petey. Hey, is that beer? What's up? Is that beer in your hand? Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it. Yeah, you got your ID on you? I don't. Okay. I'm going to grab your info just because you got beer and you're walking around with it.
No, it's just closed.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right there. I'll take it back for you.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name?
Big pimping going on, man. Come on. Oh, you say that though? Stand up, man.
Wow, since I took out.
No sleep. Bus. Club. Another club. Plane. Next place. No sleep. No fear. Nobody believed in me.
Thank you for coming today. Last night, in conjunction with the Pennsylvania State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohlberger in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, on a warrant for murders of Ethan, Zana, Madison, and Kaylee. Kohlberger resides in Pullman, Washington, and is a graduate student at Washington State University.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Publicly Buzzed Live on a special edition on a Sunday night. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I know we got a full house in here tonight for tonight's edition. Also being joined by my brother Dan. What's going on, dude?
What's up, everybody?
Glad you could be
Hope
here.
everybody's having a good night. All the mothers out there having a good Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Yes, that is right. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, thank everyone for being here. Yeah, hopefully everyone got their mother something this weekend or went and seen their mothers. Yeah, I see a lot of people hanging out in here. Thank you all so much for hanging out on a Sunday night. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone's ready for this week ahead of us. Unusual for us to come on a Sunday night, but yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, we were on Drunk Turkey Show Friday night. Some information coming there with a witness coming from the University of Idaho, coming out with some more information. They were literally just on Truth and Transparency Show with Lana. Yeah, Daniel from Drunk Turkey was gracious enough to actually wanted our thoughts on the interview that he had conducted. Yeah, it's a very under wraps type of interview for a lot of reasons. This guy's very close to this entire situation. They're calling him Dave. For the rest of this episode, we are just going to call him the witness from Idaho. I think that'll be a little bit easier because we did watch over an hour of an interview with this guy's real name and real face, and it's kind of in my head. So I'm just going to be careful and call this kid a witness for the rest of this. But yeah, Dan, you watched that. We watched that together. It was actually a very good watch because it got our brains rocking. We started diving into other things, and yeah, I mean, what did you think just out the gate real quick?
I think my initial thoughts, and I'd like to watch it again, actually, and maybe even a couple more times. But yeah, my initial thoughts are the kid seems very credible. You can see.
Didn't mean to cut
Yeah,
you
you
off
can-
there, but I said the same thing. Like some of the emotions that comes up while talking about somebody that's in this video, you know, that's an incident that's happened close to him. But yeah, sorry.
It was actually kind of cool to see Daniel from DTS's vetting process. He does vet him out, and I'm satisfied with what he provided as in proof of who he is.
What we seen on camera, you know, shouldn't be put out there, period. But you know what we saw 100%. Like that, I don't think what he showed us was fake. Again, that was his vetting type situation. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy actually. Like this kid is way too close to this, honestly, to be doing this. But I mean, kind of the same situation. He's closer than the Kim situation. She's so many parties down the road, but kind of the same thought process. If he's, you know, he's seeing some bullshit going on, and he wants to come out and kind of talk about some of the things happening in the town or the city.
Yeah, he. My biggest concern, and we'll dive deeper into that as the show goes on, I'm sure. But my biggest concern is I don't really see how it connects to what we're really discussing, which is the Idaho 4 case. I said there are connections. Don't get me wrong. There's people that know people that know people and all that going on. But in terms of my personal opinion, is any of these college towns is going to have drugs involved. These frat houses, these sorority houses, these parties are going to have drugs involved. These kids they're young and they like to party and they like to do things like that. I mean, I was there myself. I didn't do any really the harder drugs that we're talking about maybe in this case, but I mean, I know that they were out there. I saw people do them when I was at parties.
Yeah, it was a pretty normal situation to see somebody doing coke. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
God, I mean, I wasn't in that scene either. It wasn't for me, but I know a lot of. It's a rich kid drug.
True.
Is what it is. A lot of, you know, and it can definitely become a problem, but there's a lot of kids that do cocaine. It's just like a regular recreational drug. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
Absolutely.
But at that age frame, it is an actual absolutely normal thing. But it's also a shitty thing to be.
Yeah.
What sucks today is the situation that came about from the witness with the person that he knows is because of what's happening in these cities and all over America is we're being flooded with fentanyl. These drugs are being laced with fentanyl and or being cut with fentanyl or however the hell it's happening and then taking lives. That's the ultimate saddest part of the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
That's happening all over the country.
I mean, that's kind of where I wanted to, and I like how Daniel says, you know, two things can be right at the same time without being correlated, right? So there could have been drug use being in the house, and then of course we know that the kids were murdered, but that doesn't necessarily mean the two were related. Actually, it doesn't necessarily mean they were murdered because of the drug use, right?
Real quick, Jules of All Trades True Crime, great channel, go check her out. Nailed it right out the gate. It's the 911 timeline that matters in their story, not the drugs. That's the fucking truth. That's the weirdest thing in this whole thing. Okay, what we learn is the witness knows about this as early as 9:30 in the morning. Okay. And he's part of these group chats. He's part of a fraternity in that area. He's part of the drug scene, if you want to call it that, or the party scene. What's going on? He relays on some stuff that, of course, we can't touch on yet. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely the most alarming part of the whole thing. It's not really the drugs to me. Like we just said, that's not even the craziest part. I mean, again, it sucks and it's happening. But dude, he was in chat groups with other fraternity members, sororities that are being passed around, and he said up to 100, 150 people would be in these chat groups. So people at the site, two people that are survivors, started shooting out these messages before, and we'd alluded to it many times before, the weird rules and stuff that goes on, but to kind of actually get a firsthand witness mindset and, you know, actually time frame and seeing it firsthand was real interesting in this interview.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, the 8-hour gap, man, that's the weirdest part. And yeah, now I'm like I said this, I believe Friday, I'm not in the business of calling people liars, and this kid, I believe him. He has firsthand experience where he saw the messages himself. Somebody didn't tell him, right? It's not he said, she said, hearsay. He saw them firsthand, and like I said, I believe him. So we've gotten a little closer to, and now we know, or at least I personally, you know, by believing him, I know that lots of people knew about this before the police did.
Yeah, and that's what's so sad here, and alarming, and leads to a hell of a lot more questions.
That's a good question. Why did some of these other people that received these messages, why did they not go to the police? I mean,
yeah, dude, like it doesn't make any sense. Like,
it's actually kind of crazy. Yeah. Considering what we know happened. I mean, I couldn't, I wouldn't be able to, I mean, maybe they assumed that they had already called the police. Maybe that's why. Maybe they just left it up to those who were the survivors in the house to handle it. And maybe they just assumed, you know, if they weren't the ones actually going over there to help with whatever they helped with, or whatever happened in that 8 hour time gap, maybe they just assumed that the police had already been called. I'm not sure about that part, but it's very strange. 100%.
yeah, dude, that's I mean, it's been since the moment that we got the affidavit, and that was the thing that jumped out at every single person. It's still going to continue to be the most weirdest part. Dago True Crime, thank you for popping in here. A bunch of creators popping here. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna get this out of the way real quick. A little bit of shilling here. Please hit that like as you come in, guys. Helps out the channel, helps get this video in the algorithm for future, even after this thing ends. We had some more technical issues before we went live here. So I'm gonna have to fix some of the wording on this video after the fact, probably. But thank you guys still for popping in here. Appreciate it. I see John just popped through with $10. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate the hell out of that. Thank you so much. But yeah, hit that like, helps us out, guys. Subscribe if you come through. If you're not subscribed up, we're going to be staying on top of this. And we cover tons of other cases as well. Hit the 3 little dots if you do subscribe. Make sure all notifications are clicked. That way you get any of my community posts, any of my videos that I post, which is fairly regular, and live streams, which is fairly regular, which is, you know, like tonight. You never know. And there may be a special stream go down. Our regular streams, though, every Tuesday and Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Friday nights, Feral Fridays, that's what they've been deemed by the public, not us. 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, we get a little bit wilder, we get a little bit crazier. This coming Friday, though, just want to get this out of the way before we jump into this stuff. This coming Friday is going to be, it's going to be a different episode. It's going to be the 5K special. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a guest on here. I'm not going to give it away just yet, but it's going to be fun as hell. So hopefully everybody can join us. But yeah, thank you guys for popping in here tonight. Yeah, out the gate here, you know, everybody is talking about the Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson stuff. You know, I get it. You know, it's a lot of, you know, gossipy type stuff, right? And
yeah, I mean,
unfortunately, what happened in real life is what fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Now I found Mr. Proper Motivation's Facebook here as well, under this name, Anthony Hombre. It actually says he's from Brazil, living in Las Vegas, Nevada. But this is our guy. I had a moment where I was like, you know, this is because we know him as Demetrius Robinson, right?
Yeah, I just found out before we went live that he has this other alias. It's a little confusing.
Before we get any further, I found this man. He's a rapper. I don't know if anybody's been talking about this man being a rapper or not, but I found a rap video as well. And he's not that great. Dago from True Crime, $2. Thank you, sir. Maybe other people didn't call 911 because of fear. Pop it right here real quick. That's the only real answer, but I mean, dude, they started texting all their friends like hours before. And here's what's even weirder, man. You have 150, 200 people that know beforehand, and they don't also call? Nobody calls? Come on.
Tsunami brought up something. Have you looked into his history? Does he have a post from that day?
Is that from Facebook? Good question. Let's see here. March 9th. Let's roll down here. January 13th. We're getting close. January 1st. New Year's. December. Here we go. Under a month. Here we go. One on the 14th. Let me see. Make sure everybody can see that. They cannot. Blow it up here just real quick. What's a dream without sacrifice? He says a nightmare. Sleeping on your value will leave deep-rooted knots in your neck when you finally decide to wake up. Follow through is a testimony of your soul's endurance. It is the revelation of your will finally allowing to push through walks that would destroy a lesser lessons learned from the lessers who attempted to poison the fruits of your labors. Know that you are the definition of survival. Now get up. You got some accomplishing to do. Diary of a Dope Baby, which I guess that's what he's been calling his album or his music or something. But he did post the day after here. Nothing really too crazy. He's talking about who's attempted to poison his fruits. Let's get into it. Make this a little bit smaller.
Yeah, this new student that came forward also mentioned how they didn't question those from your intro video, the guys with the minor in possession. That's just carelessness and negligence. I mean,
that was fucking.
They were there. They were in the area at a very critical time and weren't questioned.
Yeah, dude. I've got that video up here too. I've got some notes here. I was trying to keep everything organized so it didn't clutter everything up. And yeah, right here. This is the beginning of that, anyways. In that field, and shout out to Unique Van Life, who has also been covering a lot of this stuff. This is from their channel, this footage, but
Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID on you?
I don't.
so this is like 2:54 in the morning here.
Okay. I'll take it back now.
First time, what do we see Kober come through, like 3:26 or something, wasn't it?
That sounds right. Yeah.
We also got the affidavit up here too, some maps. We'll probably be jumping through.
Okay. Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it. Yeah, you got your ID on you?
Hold on, I got to make sure the eyebrows can be seen now. It's a little bit bigger here. Fix this up here. Got it all screwed up because of the Facebook.
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to grab your info just because you got beer and you're walking around with it.
No, it's closed.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right there. I'll take it back if you need.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name?
He does have the most insane eyebrows of all time.
Dude.
Date of birth.
2001.
They're caterpillars, bro. Like,
They're crazy, man.
I mean,
I just pull that one off. That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho? Okay, perfect. I'm just going to check if everything's good. Since they're not open, I'll let you hang on to them.
Okay. So I get charged with anything?
No,
or?
no.
Okay. Appreciate
But
it.
it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21,
worries.
walking
Yeah,
around
I
here
get
in
it.
public.
Alrighty.
Moscow 77, check one. What's that?
Am I going to take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch and make sure you're actually 21 and give me a
Dude,
fake birthday. or
pause it
anything.
real quick. Like what? So police officers contacted this kid at almost 3 a.m. the night of the incident.
yeah.
In the area, saw this kid's eyebrows
In that band field we were looking at last night.
and then gets a description the very next. The police get the description the very next day. Bushy eyebrows is like the most distinctive feature that is relayed.
And these kids were
from
never
DM,
ever contacted again.
and these kids were never contacted again. This guy right here would be my very first suspect. I mean, why in the world would you not come talk
Allegedly.
to this kid
I'm
again?
not throwing this kid under the bus, but dude,
No,
the
right.
eyebrows
But
alone, bro.
Based on the description of what DM saw, and then you saw this kid in the area 3 a.m. the night of, you just saw this kid the night before. He would be like the very first thing that popped in your head, wouldn't he?
He's in the area. He's just kind of hanging out. Like,
Fucking
I
insane.
know.
Why would they not go question these? It's insane.
this one is crazy.
Yeah, height. Maybe he's just not tall enough. Maybe they
2001, North Idaho. Well, yeah.
I'm a letter. That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
One. So if that comes back good, yeah, you're free to go. Are these your boys?
No, I don't know them.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Van Life, for that. I knew that was going to be brought up. But we were looking last night at the band field, just right here. This is literally the area. Have I got the camera on that? Yeah. This is literally the area right here. It's crazy. Like, why the hell would you not go and talk to these kids?
Yeah.
So
he was right there.
Now, I know this is out there too. Daniel was talking about Drunk Turkey put out a video about this, and he mentioned this on the show we were on. You know, one of the craziest things that's kind of being talked about is somebody being seen in this field the next morning. So, you know, these guys when this was happening, one of these kids threw a weed pen out apparently, and they were going back the next morning to pick that up, find that or whatever. When they were out there, they straight up said that they seen somebody lurking in this field, and they even say that they thought it was Koberger. And I'm guessing that's after the fact of him being caught. They're, you know, going with the description of the face and the eyebrows, whatever you want to say there. But that's the weirdest part to me of the part, you know, and it's almost like it's in their heads, right? The person that's went back out there and like it's registering later after he's probably been actually arrested, and that's kind of going around. That was the weirdest part. Yeah. But I mean, the lurking part in a giant open field seems strange as hell after doing something like that, right?
I definitely wouldn't consider that a super reliable testimony, just because, like you said, they probably saw someone out there, right? And then, you know, when the information comes out that, you know, they've arrested Koberger, they're like, oh, whoa, that was the guy that we saw, you know?
Yeah, it's easy done. Like, I mean, we do that shit.
My question, I was gonna say, my question is, how often are people in that field? And then we talked about this last night, where, you know, it's winter, you know, it's probably not very likely.
And then we actually went in there and somebody was crossing the field.
Google Maps, literally someone's in the field on Google Maps when you
yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It looked like a student, right? Like,
yeah, it seems like maybe it's a common path to walk from
and here's
maybe house to house.
Here's a house. Yeah, I mean, this is right in, you know, Party Central, really. Yeah,
it looks like this could be fall or winter, even when this Google image was taken. Looks like colors are changing on the tree, so probably the fall.
Where I went there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. It's curious that there was someone out there at 9 or 9:30 in the morning in that field, you know, after something like this has happened. And it's very plausible to me that it was. I mean, we actually, the phone pings put Koberger back over there at around that time, right?
The next morning, right? That's what they say.
Maybe he was over there scoping the joint out. I don't necessarily know that. I mean, there was speculation maybe he was from these kids that supposedly saw him, that maybe he was looking for the knife sheath even. I doubt that, right? I don't think he would have. Why would he be looking for the knife sheath in the field? We know that it was left in the house. What did he do? Did he think he accidentally dropped it out? I mean, we also know that his car was likely parked near the house during the Elantra, we should say, was parked near the house during the crimes. So why would he be going through that field at all on foot? And if he maybe thought he chucked it out the window over there, that doesn't make sense either, because he obviously didn't chuck it out the window. It was in the house still. So I don't understand. I think maybe if he was over there in that field, he was just kind of scoping the area to see if the cops have been called yet, to see what's going on.
That would be the only thing that really makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I see.
And we know these guys that commit crimes like this like to return to the scene of the crime. So
that's true too. That's possible. A history with these type of offenders. It looks like Daniel's rolling through here saying Dave is coming on the show tomorrow and going to be asking some more questions and details. That's awesome. Probably be checking that out. Thank you for coming through here also, brother. Just reading a little bit of chat there for a second. I know this is super early, but I have to go upstairs and take a piss. I've been drinking this water. But I'm gonna play this dude's rap video while I do that.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry.
Please be quick.
Boys in the hood, I'm on my dope boy. Old boys seek and destroy. Competition, competitors, haters, etc. I turn into predator. Extra flip up in my lip, I spit like a Beretta, bruh. Lockjaw monster, turn the beat into Contra. Keep your baby mama, I'm a trio like a sponsor. Hands open, low, sweet me, she got a kick down. Every day my birthday, so I'ma eat my cake now. Lyrical anime, look how I lay the beat down. Chin music, top turnbuckle, heartbreak the kid. Walking these dress shoes and see how I live. Might brain fuck you and rape your eyelids. Son of a getter, son of a cold bitch. Some born to lose, this son's for sums. No room for bums, make moves for ones. Hype on one, sacking these funds, no time for fun. Point scored in the city, I touchdown. Well travel, get around like Greyhound. Look a town hound, every word I spit wow. So bow down, I'm taking my crown now. Birth in the slums, I'm raw as they come. Coke, spit for my words, leave your mouth on numb. Like Novocaine, Frank Oceanum, but you can call him Slurricane. That's over your head, I'ma stay on your koofy. I'm pursuit for the top, you pursue for the coochie. Since you're picking ovaries, I'ma make the beat bleed and drop bombs. Trying to stop my flow like tampons, keep calm. Impeding me will never be full gassing. Leave them on letter E, c'est la vie, straight spazzing. Me never lacking or beat me out my figure. This the flow that gets your bits tapped like Instagram pictures. Mr. Motivation, proper Santana. Banging on his beat like I own a bandana. Put you behind bars, swear I was snitching on you. Disrespectful flow, swear I was spitting on you. Finger fuck this beat, so let me put the head.
Sorry about that.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Did we lose every viewer?
We might have lost a few, but it's all right.
Okay. Yeah. So he's a rapper and he's not very good. One thing I do want to bring up here though is some of the articles that we found about this dude. And one that is it's a crazy read. Remember what we read last night with this fight?
Yeah.
I want to go over that. So, State of Washington versus Demetrius R. Robinson. This is the right one, isn't it? Yeah, Mr. Johnson. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of read through this. Let me see if I can make it any bigger.
Someone said such a beautiful Mother's Day tribute.
That song?
Oh my goodness.
I come in and just heard something about finger fucking. Oh my God.
Yeah, he dropped some wild stuff in there.
Lord. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Thought that'd be a nice little intermission.
For you didn't have to listen to it.
Oh God. Sorry about that.
Someone commented, yeah, this guy's awful. Let me torture you with it real quick.
I gotta run real quick, guys. I'm a little crazy. Oh, that's funny. Thank you guys all for being here again. Let's get into this right here. This story is kind of humorous, actually. It's also a little scary. It kind of paints the picture a little bit of old Mr. Robinson here a little bit. So yeah, Demetrius appeals his convictions for 4th-degree assault and 2nd-degree assault. He contends that a 4th-degree assault conviction violates the prohibition against double jeopardy. We'll go down here to the actual facts. July 7, 2018, Mr. Robinson spent the afternoon with Bright Johnson, drinking beer and spending time at 2 different apartment complex pools. Later in the evening, the two joined several other friends and acquaintances and went to various private parties around Pullman. The group eventually returned to the indoor pool area located at the Campus Commons apartments on the early morning of July 8th. Mr. Robinson had plans to meet up with his friend Madison Gittle. Probably butchered that. When Miss Gittle arrived at the pool and saw Mr. Johnson, she retreated to her car and called Mr. Robinson, who came outside. Miss Gittle informed him that the night before she had been at a party where Mr. Johnson groped her and that seeing him was giving her a panic attack. Miss Gittle left, and Mr. Robinson, who was visibly frustrated, returned to the pool area to find Mr. Johnson eating Mr. Robinson's food. So yeah, he leaves, he goes talk to this chick, he comes back, and the guy just, got told about the big piece of shit. He's eating a sandwich. He's eating a dude's sandwich. Hold on one sec, Dan. I need to fix your thing. Just noticed that. There you go.
Cool.
So yeah, these guys like this motherfucker. Mr. Robinson angrily confronted Mr. Johnson about eating his food. Mr. Johnson got into the hot tub. So he's like, bud, yeah, fuck off. I'm going to take a dip. Mr. Robinson kicked a cell charger into the phone. He's like, you ain't gonna charge your phone around me, bitch, and asked Mr. Johnson to get in the pool and retrieve it. Okay, so right here is where you can kind of tell that Mr. Robinson, Demetrius, has a little bit of power over somebody, right? Now, listen to the way this reads. So after he tells him to retrieve it, Mr. Johnson then enters the pool where he had difficulty retrieving the charger at the bottom of the pool. While standing on the side of the pool, Mr. Robinson hit and kicked Mr. Johnson one time. After retrieving the charger, Mr. Johnson handed it to Mr. Robinson and pulled himself out of the pool to sit on the edge with his feet in the pool. While Mr. Johnson was sitting on the edge of the pool, Mr. Robinson took a swing at Mr. Johnson's face and then began punching and kicking him. Mr. Johnson attempted to escape across the pool deck into the hot tub, where Mr. Robinson caught him and attempted to hold Mr. Johnson, his head underwater. Mr. Johnson managed to writhe away, and at this point, two of the bystanders in the pool area ineffectively attempted to intervene before returning to their pool chairs to continue drinking and watching the incident unfold. So two guys are like, what the hell's going on here? Maybe we should try to get involved in this. And they quickly realize that they can't do much about it. And they go back and drink to watch the show. Mr. Robinson continued to pace around the hot tub, attempting to hit and kick Mr. Johnson, who retreated to the middle of the hot tub. So you can just picture this whole situation. He's in the middle of the hot tub, trying not to get hit. Johnson's probably circling around here. Mr. Robinson, Demetrius, threw a chair at Mr. Johnson, then removed his belt and tried to whip Mr. Johnson with it. He then proceeded to throw several empty beer bottles at Mr. Johnson. Demetrius eventually emptied his pockets and jumped into the hot tub, at which point Mr. Johnson got out of the tub and tried to run away. He ran into a column. Okay, when we read this last night, we were like, is this a fucking comedy movie that we're reading right now? So you can picture this whole scene and scenario happening. He's literally, you see Demetrius running around this fucking pool, punching, swinging, and here's old Johnson in the middle trying to dodge, trying not. He gets out of the hot tub. He's like, I can get away. He turns around, smack dab into a fucking column?
How does that happen in real life?
What is happening, bro? Like, that cracked us up last night. Okay, yeah. Run into a column, fell down, and Mr. Robinson proceeded to hit and kick Mr. Johnson while he was on the ground, aiming several kicks at his head. So it seems like he's really trying to beat the shit out of this guy. The bystanders finally intervened. They're like, oh my God, this poor man. And Mr. Johnson was able to escape. The entire episode from the time Mr. Robinson initially hit and kicked Mr. Johnson to when Mr. Johnson escaped was 8 minutes. That's a long ass time. Mr. Johnson reported the incident to the Pullman Police Department, who was able to obtain security footage of the incident from the campus commons apartments. They also interviewed Mr. Johnson, who reported injuries to his ribs, jaw, and eye socket. So it does seem like it was pretty serious. The state originally charged Mr. Robinson with 1 count of second-degree assault and alleged 3 alternative means: that he had intentionally assaulted Mr. Johnson and thereby recklessly inflicted substantial bodily harm, assaulted Mr. Johnson with a deadly weapon, assaulted Mr. Johnson by suffocation. Yeah, he tried to drown him. He threw a chair at him. He beat him with his belt. Prior to trial, the state amended the information to remove the substantial bodily harm alternative means and to add 1 count of 4th-degree assault based on the punches and kicks that occurred during the incident. The court instructed the jury on 2 alternative means of committing second-degree assault with a deadly weapon and assault by suffocation. The jury returned a verdict of guilty as to both counts. The jury also returned a special verdict from indicating it was not unanimous as to whether Mr. Robinson assaulted Mr. Johnson with a deadly weapon. But it was unanimous that Mr. Robinson assaulted Mr. Johnson by suffocation. You know, that'd probably be pretty clear from I'd love to see this video of this situation.
Yeah. I just want to see him hit his running.
I know. I just want to see him turn around and bam. The trial court sentenced Mr. Robinson to a standard range sentence of 15 months. Mr. Robinson filed a timely notice of appeal. On appeal, Mr. Robinson claims the conviction for 4th-degree assault violates the prohibition of double jeopardy. And then they both also had different accounts of what happened. Isn't that right, Dan? I think I remember reading that. But yeah, this whole situation sounds like an absolute clusterfuck, though.
Either Demetrius has a real temper problem, or that was a really fucking delicious sandwich.
How good was this damn sandwich? Where was the sandwich from? And it wasn't from Subway. I mean,
no, definitely not Subway.
That'd be a damn good gourmet sandwich. It's probably at a fancy ass little spot, though. looking at the lifestyle this guy lived. But yeah, we read into this last night. Just then, I mean, it does kind of paint a picture of what he is about. We found some other stories as well. Let me see. I got another one here, a Robinson assault story. So I mean, there's definitely a history of violence with this individual. This is from the Daily Evergreen.
Another one.
Huh?
I was gonna say, yeah, this is the other one.
Yeah, Robinson found guilty of assault charges. Let's see here. A Whitman County Superior Court jury found Demetrius Robinson guilty of 2 assault charges after over an hour of deliberation Tuesday. Robinson faced 1 count each of 4th and 2nd degree assault stemming from July 8th incident at the Pullman apartment complex, according to a press release from Whitman County prosecutor Dennis Tracy. The jury heard testimony from witnesses and watched surveillance footage from the pool area of the complex's clubhouse that showed Robinson punching and kicking the victim, holding him underwater. This is the same thing. Okay. This was that situation.
Oh, that's right.
Except hold on. There's one more, though. What was the other one? Yeah, here's the other one. This is I think it's a different one. Tacoma man with extensive criminal history, accused of assaulting and threatening a woman at a WSU hotel, reaches plea. The Tacoma man with an extensive criminal history accused of assaulting a woman inside of a hotel on the WSU campus has reached a plea agreement. Yeah, this is it. A different one, rather. A 34-year-old Demetrius pleaded guilty Friday, and this is from 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago.
Yep.
Robinson has been in jail on a $250,000 bond since his arrest by WSU police in March. He was initially arrested for felony assault and threat to kill. WSU police arrested Robinson at the Marriott Residence Inn for allegedly choking a woman and threatening to kill her. He reportedly tried to keep her in his hotel room. WSU police also reported that they found a variety of narcotics inside his campus hotel room. Whitman County District Court Judge Pro Tem Judge Robinson sentenced Robinson Friday to 1 year of unsupervised probation. And so everything you just read, like he threatened to kill this lady, and gets unsupervised probation, and he has a history of being a violent offender, and ordered him to pay $1,500 in fines and court costs. Robinson's local criminal history includes convictions for felony assault, charges from a jury trial in 2018. He was found guilty of assaulting an individual at Pullman apartment complex in July of the same year. I mean, that seems crazy. Like, Robinson was also arrested by Pullman police last year for allegedly raping a woman inside of him. What are we doing? Like, there's a lot of stuff with this guy, and like, continued slap on the wrist with stuff like this. This has been like kind of a theme on some of our other shows here recently. Lack of anything going on when there's a history of it, and you can see it in black and white right in front of you, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're still letting them go.
We kind of was going into this, and this is alleged. I don't know this for a fact, but the situation with him and Emma Bailey, it almost seems like he was probably a pimp type situation there. I'm not saying that she was a hoe that actually had sex for money, but the situation was there where she sold drugs for money, probably for him. And I would say that's still kind of a pimp type situation, honestly. You're under this guy's thumb. He's probably got you addicted to whatever it is you're selling. I mean, that's how it works. That's probably the sad situation that's happened to Emma Bailey here. She probably was, and if you look at her Facebook, I'm not going to go down any deeper on her Facebook, but if you go and look at her Facebook, you can get down to when she was actually in high school and a kid, and she was a cheerleader. And at some point, she's made a messed up decision, and she's led to where she's unfortunately at right now. But that's sad as shit is what it is. And it goes back to where maybe, I don't know when they met, when they got together, but this guy clearly had a criminal history. That one story was from 2018. I mean, I'm not saying throw away the key on somebody. Nobody can be rehabilitated, but repeat offenders that are violent and have assaulted women and sexually, verbally, and physically, maybe we should be doing something a little more besides just unsupervised probation. Maybe, I don't know.
I agree. And it sounded like the sexual assault charge maybe either didn't stick, or maybe it was still under review because it said allegedly. So
that's true. That's a good point.
I don't know what happened there, but I'm not going to say if I I would definitely lean towards he probably fucking did it, because this guy seems like a piece of shit and he's always assaulting people.
Yeah, he's
so-
like you said, he has a real anger issue. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's
drug
behind bars
pimping.
now,
Sandra said
so
it right
that's
there.
something.
I'm sorry, what?
He's behind bars now, so that's something.
Yeah, he's run
Hopefully he
into
can stay there for a while.
a bad situation now. Here's his Twitter. As you can see what was going on here. I mean, they were party promoters. They were club running. He was, trying to either become a rapper or get rich by becoming an influencer or her to become an influencer, while funding it with drug money, it looks like. And then they've run into some, how high up he goes into whatever, we don't know that yet. If something comes out later and we're talking, higher up drug cartel type stuff, that'd be interesting. But right now we don't know that. So, but he was definitely involved in something, getting a lot of weight, what seemed like from the Seattle area, and pushing that to these college campuses in Moscow and Idaho, or in Moscow and Pullman. And again, that's not an unusual thing. I don't think, what sucks is you get people involved in it. And what would really suck is if you do get people involved in it that are connected to the cartel, that then do come to these areas because they know that they can make money, right?
Yeah.
You can go to these bars, you can go to these parties, you can make a shitload in one night. I mean,
reportedly Emma was making $500,000 just off of, just one night
from going to party. And I mean, we alluded to this last night. I remember people like that when I was younger. In my college days, there were folks that's what they did. They sold drugs. That's how they made their money. That's just what it is. I'm not saying they're great people either.
Right.
But yeah, it's a crazy thing. But yeah, this dude was, he had a grind.
Yeah, and you bringing up the cartel thing actually connects to what I believe his involvement would potentially be in the Idaho 4 murders is when drug dealers or guys like this Demetrius Robinson want to take care of someone. I think typically they do it with guns, right?
We talked about that. Yes, sir. Right.
I think the only way I could connect something like this, like a gentleman like this, why in the world did I say that? A piece of shit like this to the murders that we're covering is if it was cartel related and they wanted to send a message, because we've seen that, right? We've seen cartel do some pretty nasty things when it comes to sending a message, and they may not do it as easy, quiet, or let's not say quiet, because the gun would probably be pretty loud unless you had silencers, which is a whole nother level of whatever.
And that's what I also said that last night as just another possibility is, again, I don't think you go in there thinking you're going to kill that many people with a knife, but the noise of the gun, you don't want, because the little area there on King and Queen is really tight. So the noise would definitely alert somebody.
To be fair, taking out, I mean, the gunshots are very loud, but taking out 4 people with a knife is probably going to be pretty loud too, which is whole nother thing that's very confusing about this case. But let me get to my point, is just that I think if the cartel was involved, that's the only way I could connect a drug dealer like this to the murders themselves, right? Because they might be wanting to send a message like that, like I said. If he's not involved in something like that, and he actually wants to go and take these kids out because they're encroaching on his business or whatever his reason may have been, maybe even just a dispute, right? Because he obviously has a bad temper and flies off the handle. He had probably done it with a gun, I would think. I don't think these guys go in and make it personal with a knife, this is an intimate crime.
That's right, man. Like, a knife is not something that you go in, again, unless, you go back to the point, which does happen, but that's mostly it's kind of unlikely. It can happen. I mean, nothing's outside of the bounds. We've seen that all the time, but yeah, the knife is very personal. You go in and you kill somebody with a knife. And again, I don't think that they went in there, whoever, I'm not even going to say Koberger right now, but whoever the fuck went in there, I don't think that they went in there with the idea of having to face that many people. I really don't. Like, I don't know if they thought they would, again, we don't know exactly all the details of how they got in there, but I can't believe that it went to plan with one person and 4 people. I just can't. Like, that seems insane to me. yeah, this dude is definitely an absolute grade A piece of shit, and probably honestly deserves to be off the street. Needs to be off the street, not deserves, needs to be off the fucking street. So, and again, I think it sucks that chick, this Emma Bailey, got wrapped up with this cat, because she was a lot younger than him too. Shit happens, man.
Yeah, significantly, by like 15 years.
Shit happens, man. Yeah. And I mean, you know, you make your bed and you got to lay in it, right? Obviously, this is the lifestyle she wanted, and she was willing to risk and make those sacrifices to try to make it work. So, at the end of the day, it's fucking sad, is what it is. Now, one thing, do I have that popped up here? Yes, the cars.
Oh yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all of the cars. We're gonna go into this a little bit here. So we found. I should have taken the time to get them all together. I have to kind of click through these, but here is the 2011, 2012, 2013. You can kind of see the similarities of these, and then you can see when they start to change. So here's 2013, 14, and 15. Then you can see here, 17 and 18, they start to change a little bit. 18 dramatically.
Yep.
Now, Koberger drove a 15.
Really what I'm looking at is the headlights, the taillights, the shape of the car. All of that is very much almost identical. The wheels on the 2014 are different. I mean, other than that, they look so similar to me. I think if this was a moving vehicle with probably shitty cameras, I would have a hard time. We also mentioned how they amended the range of vehicles they were looking for. They were originally looking for 2011 to 2013, and then they amended it to extend it to what, 2016?
Yes. Yep.
And then we all know Koberger drives a 2015. Well, the most logical explanation for the amendment there, I think, is that they had the shitty footage from around the location of the crime, from businesses and residential areas. Cameras, probably Ring cameras. I mean, whatever cameras businesses might have, those are probably maybe a little bit higher quality. But again, we've seen business footage, and a lot of times it's shitty too.
It's garbage.
But then they start doing their search, and they go to Washington State to see who all drives an Elantra there, and they get video footage there of a vehicle leaving at 2 a.m. Right?
I would like to see that, because I'd imagine WSU video footage is a lot better. I bet that coming from their parking lot's a lot clearer than these household cameras and even these business cameras on whatever streets he was passing by.
And potentially even saw it parked and not actually moving, or if moving very slowly. So you can get a better picture, a better detail from the camera of what type of car it was. So when they seen that the vehicle leaving the university at somewhere between 2 and 3 a.m., I can't remember the exact time. It's closer to 3 a.m., I believe, wasn't it? It was like 2:56 a.m.
No, which part?
Leaving the university.
I think it's so. Yeah, the first time he's seen leaving the university, I think it is 2:56. I believe. Yeah, I think that is. I have to find it up here, but yeah, something like that.
But anyway, I would imagine there was a clearer picture there, so he was able to extend the year of the vehicle. The expert, I mean, the FBI expert who...
Because that was something we were talking about too. We were like, if this guy's an expert, why can't he, out the gate, figure out what's going on? And then we started thinking about how shitty the cameras would have actually been.
Well, I still think that's a mistake on his part. Is like, I mean, if this guy really is an expert, he knows what the 2011 to 2016 Elantras look almost entirely identical. Right. He should have just had that range from the beginning.
That's true too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to read through this just a little bit here as we can kind of break this down. As part of the investigation, an extensive search commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvass was conducted in the area of King Road residents. This video canvass was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13, 22, in the area of King Road residents and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspect or suspect vehicles traveling or leaving the King Road residence. Now, we were on the map last night looking at this and getting more familiar with this area, and the confusion with the road names is a part of this as well.
And that actually got cleared up by the witness we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Idaho student.
The
He
witness.
says they just call it King Road. They don't call that little they don't call the Queen Road part Queen Road. They just call the whole thing King Road.
Mhm.
It's very confusing though when you're looking at a map and you're reading the PCA. It's like, what? It doesn't make sense. Like, for example, it says going eastbound on King Road, and you're looking at a map. You're like, well, that's not even possible. So
Yeah.
what's going on there? But it got cleared up, so it makes sense now.
Yeah, we were reading this last night and going literally piece by piece and kind of playing with this on the map there. This video canvas resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. So, a review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan hereafter, suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling westbound on 700 block on Indian Hills Drive at Moscow at approximately 3:26 a.m. So this is about 30 minutes after those kids were in the band field. It's the first time he's seen in this area. And westbound on...
How close are those incidents? My goodness.
It's crazy.
And the cops were just there.
And not to go back and talk to these guys. And westbound on Steiner Avenue and Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appears suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying a front license plate. A review of footage from multiple videos obtained from King Road neighborhood showed multiple sightings of this vehicle starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 when he sped away. These sightings show vehicle 1 make an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residents and then leave via Walenta Drive. Based off of my experiences as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during these hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this area. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a 4th time, approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, which is the house directly in front of the Idaho Frat House, and then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn in the road. So here we are. This is the area. Here's Queen Road.
So this is when he came back at 4:04.
Yeah.
He's driving up this way.
Yeah, right here.
The blurred out residence there is
on,
the 500 Queen Road.
One more. Here's 500 Queen Road.
Oh, that's yes. Actually, maybe there was a part. Actually, no, it's the one. Yeah, the blurred out one, I believe.
I think, yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, here is the actual home. And then I've got this video up here. You can kind of see these. And this is from Truth and Transparency. This is from my channel, but this is a month-old video, 4 months old video. But this is it's from the body cam footage when there was the noise complaint. And you can see the cops walking up this very street we're on right now, and you can kind of get the.
We're getting there, no chains. I have a question about that as well.
The guy that comes out with Kaylee and sits on the couch here, if it looks like it appears.
Hold on one sec. Let me back up here. So yeah, you can see this is literally the area.
Also very strange. The guy that comes out with Kaylee and sits on the couch here.
So this is the area. Of course,
there we can see the driveway.
You can actually see it.
You can't see that on Google Maps because they've got everything blurred. But
right here.
So he comes up here. He comes up here and unsuccessfully tries to park or stop. It says, right? Does it say stop and park or stop or park?
It says.
How was it worded?
Let's see. Where was that? Suspect.
It appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road.
So yeah, he's moving all around this area.
Again.
Yeah,
he turned around again, went back to the intersection, did a 3-point turn, and came right back up.
And I was arguing last night that he's looking for the house. He's trying to find this house.
Yeah, and it's dark.
And it's dark. He's trying to figure out exactly where he's going.
Either the house or a place where he can kind of stash the car while he does the deed.
Exactly.
It looks like it appears that he's wearing zip ties on.
Everybody has seen this and had the vibe, but still
wrists.
Because like you even said last night, he probably doesn't want to pull right up in the driveway. Right?
Yeah, yeah. And then for a second, we were trying to take a moment to kind of get the feel of how big the driveway actually is. And you can kind of get the feel.
Strange. No clue what that is about. Kaylee doesn't seem to be intoxicated here either.
But yeah, that is the area right here with the worst naming of streets ever. Suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area of King Road residence at approximately 4:20. So yeah, the next time, he's.
So we have no information about whether he parked or not, or where he went. Like, so does he just disappear after he goes eastbound down Queen Road? Does he I mean, if you go back to maps and you look at the little road that cuts to the right of the, no, go back to the house.
Oh yeah, the one up top.
In front of the house. That little road there that cuts.
Yeah.
Maybe he went up through there. Maybe he went straight ahead even and stopped the car, and they just don't have camera footage of him going up there and stopping or parking.
And then if you get closer here from a top view, you can see it wraps around here, and it does end up in a dead end.
Yeah, I would like to know where the car ended up getting stashed. And in the PCA, they don't seem to know. So they probably just lost sight of him, because they have to be relying on Ring cameras and things like that. Somebody's security footage they might be hanging off the corner of their house. And so if that's all they have, and that may not be recording at all times, that may be motion activated, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, next time we see him is a high rate of speed leaving at 4:20 a.m. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Walenta Drive. Real quick, AZ with the $5. He drives straight ahead into the parking lot first, he says. Thank you, AZ, for that. Appreciate it, bud. And I'm sorry if I don't get to all these tonight. The chat is going crazy, and there's a lot of fucking people in here. If you're just hanging out in the background, please hit that like, guys. That'll help me out getting this thing out there to some new folks to learn about Publicly Buzzed. Appreciate it. Okay, yeah, so he's heading out on Walenta Drive here. Now, last night it took us a second to figure this out. Based on my knowledge of the area of review of the camera footage in the neighborhood that does not show Suspect Vehicle 1 during that time frame, I believe that Suspect Vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Costanoga Drive. Palouse River Drive is at the southern edge of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County. Washington, yeah. Straight into Washington. It's like a 10-minute drive.
And this is just an assumption by the police officer that wrote the affidavit. Yeah. This, like he said in the affidavit, they do not have footage from these neighborhoods, so they don't actually know what route he took.
So yeah.
Until later, they picked them back up on cameras later, which they explain.
See, approximately 10 miles from Idaho, both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of Suspect Vehicle 1 to forensic examiners with the FBI that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify. Now, here's the expert. Yeah. Identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years of law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives him visual clues of vehicles across states to identify differences between the vehicles. After reviewing the numerous observations of Vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that Vehicle 1 was an 11 to 13 Elantra. Upon further review, he indicated it could also be an 11 to 16 Elantra. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is 11 to 16 white Elantra.
After reviewing numerous observations of suspect vehicle, yeah, so they don't actually specify that maybe camera footage from the university is what gave them the reasoning to extend the years, right?
Yeah.
I actually thought they said that last night when we were reading through this, but they do go into the Washington State University stuff right after, so maybe that's why I was thinking that.
Yeah, let's go down a little further. Thank you, Low 12, for becoming a Buzz and Confused member. Appreciate that.
Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
Love it, dude. Thank you. Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington State University campus located at Pullman. Our review of the footage indicated that at approximately 2:44 a.m. Okay, that's when he was leaving. Yeah, on November 13th. A white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. At approximately 2:53 a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington, towards SR-270. SR-270 connects to Pullman. This camera footage from Pullman, Washington, was provided to the same FBI forensic examiner, the expert. The examiner identified the vehicle observed in Washington, Pullman, was a 14-16. So that's what it was. Yeah, that's what made us think that the cameras at WSU was probably way better, because once the examiner with the FBI got that footage, then he was able to narrow it down to 3 years. And
3 years,
the actual car was the one in the middle. He basically kind of nailed it.
Now let's go back and look at 2014 and 2016 vehicles. See how similar those are.
So yeah, here's 2014, here's 2015.
And there's 2016 at the top.
And they're
same headlights, same tail lights.
They're the same car. Like
different wheels, different rims on. But I mean, that actually could just be a package thing too. You get different wheels, different rims based on how high end.
These side mirrors are different on 15.
Yep.
And 15 has the darkest windows. I don't know. 16 and 15 are about the same. 13 has some pretty dark ones.
Yeah.
Actually, 18's dark as hell.
Well, that's another thing. Like they could be part of a package, or this could be aftermarket tinning.
That's very true. That definitely could change as well. Creed 64th to 199. Thanks for sharing this info. Thank you for being here. Definitely love it.
And they are. I can see some very slight differences, but they're very, very similar. And again, a camera is not close up. But again, this guy's an expert, so I need to maybe preface with that. But the camera is not. We're not looking at the vehicle like we are right here. It's the camera's
CL's an expert. He says not even close. An expert would be able to pick up faster than me.
The camera's going to be like higher up in the air, looking down on this thing. I mean, the angle that the camera, we don't know all of that.
Dude, I can't wait till we get fucking details, man.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And we can get through with all this fucking bullshit.
To everyone's credit, who likes to use this car thing as reasonable doubt. I think it's fair, but the guy's an expert. He should know. 35 years experience and it specifically says that he's an expert in identifying vehicles. So he should have been better, honestly.
Yeah. That was the weirdest part. That's kind of what we were getting into last night. We're like, I mean, this guy's an expert. He's with the FBI.
I personally still don't. That doesn't put reasonable doubt in my mind. But again, I mean, I'm still, I need the evidence anyway. I'm not saying innocent or guilty.
It's really still he's innocent. Right now he is.
Yeah, he's innocent. Innocent until proven guilty.
Gets proven guilty. Yeah, it's their burden to prove this currently. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
But it's fun to talk about why we think that the probable cause holds up.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Until we can get. Yeah, at the end of the day, we need actual proof, though. You can't throw the guy away without more.
That's what sucks the most. We're going to have to wait forever.
I know.
We're going to wait so long for anything concrete.
Let's see. At approximately 5:25 a.m., a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the suspect vehicle 1, was observed on 5 cameras in Pullman and WSU campus cameras. The first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at 13 Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed traveling northeast on Johnson Road. So yeah, I mean, the one thing about it is this one they got this car, the one that they followed from WSU, and they followed him through the camera system all the way to literally the Idaho home. Basically, they've, not every single movement, but they pretty much followed this dude the whole way.
Yep.
But to see that laid out with hopefully actual camera or, the actual surveillance camera, that would be awesome. That would put a lot to bed, I think. And to see maybe how clear the WSU cameras are, and probably to see how shitty the cameras for the rest are, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit's crazy. And yeah, Chad is crazy too. Thank you guys all for hanging out. What's Drunk Turkey saying here? According to the most recent Airmail article, the FBI used software to manipulate the pictures to determine the year, make, and model. Whoa. I haven't seen that Airmail art, huh? He says, according to the most recent Airmail article, the FBI used software to manipulate the pictures to determine the year, make, and model.
Yeah, I can imagine, sharpening an image up or, to the degree that they can. It's not CSI. You can't you can't add resolution to an image that doesn't have it, right? AI can make up fake pixels to make things look a little sharper, but it's not real data. It's fake data. What you do is you take an image and you can sharpen it with the data that you have. You can bring colors out, things like that. But you definitely can't take a pixelated image and create data from nothing to make it sharper like they do in TV shows.
Yeah, what was that one line you had that time? The CSI isn't real, guys.
Yeah.
CSI is real. Enhance.
But there's definitely stuff they can do, of course, to help bring out, especially to bring out the vehicle and help determine the make, model, year, all that stuff.
Just looking here real quick. The chat. It's going by there. Yeah, I'll probably be tuning in tomorrow night for the Drunk Turkey show when they have the witness on. And again, like Dan said, I would like to watch this again. I did like how we did it last night, though, and I was even talking to Daniel, off and on randomly, because he was wondering, he's wondering exactly how we got the vibe we were getting from him. If we thought it was credible, which we did, but
Yeah, and while we're on that subject right now, dogs love humans. We can 100% verify that this student Dave is not Enan Harsh.
Oh yeah, 100% not the same at all. Yeah. Yeah, he said right here, the word manipulate was their term, which I didn't like, and they still got it wrong at first, says Daniel.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's a pretty good point because the guy's supposed to be an expert, and
that's what they're going to hammer him with, right? I
think so. Yeah.
That the most recent case where I saw experts get mad as fuck and get hammered was the Murdoch stuff. And they take a beating, man. Like they'll ask them pretty much, like they're not pulling back punches. Like and like the defense shouldn't anyways. But it's gonna get interesting when they start talking to this FBI expert and they're like, "So why did it take you? This is and wasn't there one bit of wording there that said exactly like, I didn't know if it'd be like an instantaneous, like, oh wait, no, but I think it said upon further review, right? Like, what was that time frame? How long did it take for him to go, wait, no, I've never. But then again, to my own point there, I think that we figured that out when we got to the WSU part. Those cameras were probably a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
That's probably how they kind of eventually nailed down
a little bit.
the 3 years.
I think that helps a little bit, but I don't know. Yeah. Even still, you can really see you can see some differences in 2014 and 2016. So it's still a little odd. Like that side, but again, yeah, the angle of the camera and stuff, that's going to matter a lot. Like if you look at 2014's mirror versus 2015's mirror, they're significantly different.
Yeah. And again, we're just regular dudes. An expert,
yeah,
he's called that for a reason. He's getting paid a stupid amount for a reason.
Yep.
That's interesting. But yeah, tomorrow night, this dude is going to be on Drunk Turkey Live, hanging out on a panel show. Again, he was on tonight. He was on Lana's show. I got to hear a little bit of that when I was coming in and out on it. But again, pretty much a lot of the stuff that we were hearing in the interview that we were gracious, if I could talk enough to get from Drunk Turkey, and kind of get a vibe from it, man. It was interesting. It was very, very interesting. And that guy's, I'll say it right now, the dude's brave to be coming out and doing what he's doing. And yeah, it's first-hand account information and not third-hand, fourth-hand.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think Dave's biggest concern isn't even making connections to the Idaho 4 stuff. It's more getting the drug issues out. I think that's his biggest concern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the connection with the unfortunate incident that happened, right?
Yep.
That's really tipped him over the edge to come out and want to talk about a lot of this stuff. You know, I understand that. I get that. And, you know, it seems like he's wanted to come out to Truth and Transparency and the Drunk Turkey Show. Those are the folks that he's come out to and feels comfortable with sharing the story. I think that leads to what I talk about on the show a lot of times. We're in a completely different era and time frame, folks. We are the media here. You are the media. Like, you can connect with people that you never thought you'd be able to connect with before, and people like us can actually make a difference in this thing. And I think that's fucking crazy.
Some people are saying that I haven't watched the interview with Lana, but some people are saying he didn't really say a lot. Well, I mean, he's probably a little nervous, to be fair. There was over 2,000 people in there watching.
God, I think there was 3K in there.
3,000 people are in there watching. He's already a little bit nervous about sharing his story anyway. He trusts Daniel and Lana with his, hiding his identity, because he doesn't want people to know who he is. I'd imagine the kid's pretty nervous.
Yeah, it would probably be. He was nervous in the one-on-one with Daniel we watched. You could tell.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot going on.
I probably should stop calling them kids. They're young adults.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Always just say kids. Yeah, no, he was good. From what I heard, he was totally good. There you go. You got to listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, that would be a good question. We haven't had an opportunity to talk to him, but a question for maybe Daniel to take. And I don't know if Lana asked or not, but why didn't he or anyone that he knew in that group chat call the police when they found out?
No, that's the biggest question, man. Because I mean, if you got 100, 150, 200 people passing around this information and ain't none of them called, it's wild. It's wild. Harlot here. Let's see what you're saying, Harlot. He sounds authentic to me. He was very natural. I don't think he was BSing. It really bothered me when he said he wasn't worried until this Kim stuff, though. I don't think it's connected to drugs. No change no more. He's being honest. I mean, that's the vibe we got for sure. Okay, Harlot saying he didn't know that he said they didn't know 911 hadn't been called. So I could see that almost, right? You're seeing everybody is getting all these group texts, and you're like, oh shit, but they're probably in their head thinking, well, of course they've called the police, right?
Exactly.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Drunk Turkey, the death of his friend and hearing Kim come forward and say things he had heard had moved him to come forward, and hopefully more will, especially if they know something.
Yeah, and Daniel said he asked him that, and they weren't aware 911 wasn't called. So,
yeah, okay. Nice.
I mean, that makes perfect sense.
That does make sense. I mean, if I'd have got that, I'd probably like, oh shit, I'd have been in shock or pissed off or mad, but then in my head, I'd have still been like, well, of course, they've called the police here.
Exactly.
And then to find out they didn't, that would still be a good question to ask him. What's his take on that? Like to ask that live, see what he wants to say on there. I'll definitely be tuning in though, Daniel. Tomorrow night. I think he said it was tomorrow. The Monday show.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, again, we wanted to cover this tonight with a special publicly buzzed edition. Thank you guys for all hanging out. It's been a fucking awesome show. Had a crazy ass house tonight.
This might be my first Sunday show. I don't think I've ever been on Sunday.
Yeah, I've only done a couple of Sundays. When I first started getting hot and heavy on here, I started doing some Sundays, and they were usually pretty good shows, actually.
You got a rare sober Dan tonight.
Hey, I haven't drank anything either. We took this one completely sober, which is the way we probably should have. This is a very serious one. Which hell, most of the stuff we do is serious, but
yeah,
guy actually coming forth here. But yeah, Sunday special. You never know, though. That's why you need to sub up, just because you never truly know what's going to happen or go down here on Publicly Buzzed. Again, this week, stay tuned. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But the Friday show, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not going to give away what's going down yet, but you're going to want to see it. You're going to want to check it out because it's going to be fun as hell. There's going to be a special guest on here as well. I'm not going to give that away either. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be, just remember, it's going to be fun. That one's going to be us taking the night off from crime, basically. Even it's just going to be a really fun episode of us celebrating 5,000 people, which we're about to hit 53. Hell, we might be celebrating 55. I don't know.
For real,
You
yeah.
guys keep rolling through, and we love it. All the new members, thank you very much. All the new subs, thank you very much. You guys are making this worth it. Yeah, this is craziness. And again, tomorrow night, go check that out. Go check out Lana's interview. I need to go back and listen to the rest of that. I probably definitely will, because what I was hearing earlier, I was busy as the thing when she was live, but I kind of had it on, and I literally was bathing my dog while I was doing it. So it was kind of chaotic, but from what I heard, it was very interesting. And he did sound very nervous. But again, you got 3K people in there listening to your story in real time. Some TV stations don't get those numbers. Come on. YouTube's crazy. We're living in a totally different time frame here, people.
Yeah, go check out Dago tomorrow. He said he's streaming between 12 and 12:30.
Yes, sir. Dago, hopefully, I need to talk to him privately, but and I'm not sure if he saw it in the chat Friday. It was a crazy chat as well. But I want him to come on in 2 weeks. 2 Fridays, if he's down for that, for a Feral Friday. I want the True Crime with Dago and Dago to come on here, and Mountain Mama as well. I was in their chat a couple of days ago. They were both talking. I said both of them are absolutely welcome on this show. I like both of them, and I think it'd be fun as hell. So yeah, 2 Fridays from now, if you can make that happen. If that doesn't work, we can work out anything, other scheduling. We'll get you on here, but I think that'd be dope. I'll get you on here for a Friday show. Daniel coming through. He has told me he wasn't watching things on YouTube or into true crime, nor the news really, and it basically hit him when Kim said she was asking why did her daughter know before police. That's what hit him. Okay. Well, shit. Yeah, he's jumped into the deep end of it. Then
he's still, up until more recently, didn't know that the police weren't called till later. Is that's what he's saying, right? He didn't figure out that the police were called later until Kim said it.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he hasn't been keeping up with the case, which understandably so. If I was local in the area, I might not either, just because it's people you knew, or maybe you would. I don't know. I don't know how I would react to that. Actually, you might want to kind of stay away from it just because it's so devastating. But you also probably want to know as much as possible. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh my God, yeah. Mandy Jo is the person that really deemed it for Feral Fridays. And she also made a cool picture. That is dope as hell. I'm not going to pop it up here in case she doesn't want me to, but if you want me to show it, I'll pop it up on the community page because it's awesome. She did a cool little, some cool art for Feral Fridays.
Damn, you need to show it to me. You haven't even showed it to me.
I know. I think she sent it to me yesterday. I'll show it to you as soon as we get off here. I might show it here in a minute if she says it's cool. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dago's down. So yeah, 2 weeks from now, prepare for Dago for sure. And hopefully, hell, maybe we can get Daniel on here to talk about this as well. Get some of his takes on live. Maybe wait for him to do that interview tomorrow. Huh?
Get a full panel going.
That'd be dope. Maybe Tuesday. We'll have to work it out. I know Daniel's extremely busy right now with the baby and all this. We'll work that out, but that'd be cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Publicly Buzzed is now going to be playing only rap videos from Demetrius Robinson.
All right. Oh, she said she doesn't care.
Cool. Let me get that real quick. Also, folks, join the Discord. Send me anything that you make like this, because this is fucking dope. Hell, if I can get it here. 2 seconds. Let me save it.
I guess this shouldn't get, well, I don't know if he was like self-produced or not. I was going to say we shouldn't get a copyright strike for playing his song because
I don't think so. Well, for some reason I can't get this picture. Well, I'll post this to the community anyways. But first of all, join the Discord as well. And yeah, the Discord is getting kind of crazy, actually. You know, we're up to like 200 or 150 people or something. Join the Discord. And I would also say follow me on Twitter because that's where I get the craziest. I'll get kind of wild on Twitter now. Not that I don't get pretty wild on here as well. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it, brother. What did he say here? Exactly. He and many of the students had moved on, and it was a main point in his interview. He just started watching things because of the death of his friend.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, people. I guess they didn't want to. They didn't want to see stuff relating to. I mean, they're so close to it.
Oh, it is. It's worth it, Mandy. I'll hold the whole fucking show up. I don't know why I can't get it. Is what's really silly. Actually, doesn't make sense. Got some kind of weird lock on that thing.
Well, you can't right click and download it or something.
Well, I did that. Well, I'm trying to snip it. It won't snip.
It
oh,
won't
there it
snip.
is. We got it. We're good.
That's super weird.
Damn. I don't know what happened. I got it now. Boom.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, that's hilarious.
Dope as hell.
Is that a take on me always going to the bathroom? Is that
Mandy?
joke? Is that the joke you're making right there?
Is that the joke you're making? We need to know. Feral Fridays is a real thing, guys. It gets fucking wild. Hell, this last we had Subconscious Mouth on. Go back and check out that show. Fucking dope as hell. It took us maybe 40 minutes to even get him on here. It was technical difficulties. It's crazier than hell. I look up. I'm like, I bet everybody's done left the room. It was another 100 was in the room, and they were giving us money. I was like, what is happening right now? You guys are the craziest. So everybody that comes through on Fridays knows what's happening. But I'm telling you, this coming Friday is going to be special. It's going to be fucking fun, guys. I'm going to put a lot of work into this, so.
It's not always bathroom visits either. We got to go refill our drinks and shit. We don't have fridges in our rooms.
That is what I need, though. I need a fridge down here in my basement.
I do too. I really do.
Yeah, Mandy killed it, y'all. For real.
I mean, we only do like 4-hour streams. I don't use the bathroom that often in 4 hours, maybe like once or twice. And every time I get up, it's to get a beer.
Got to get them brews.
It's funny, though. I like it.
Be great on a shirt.
Yeah.
Merch is coming, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, merch is coming. Publicly Buzzed Live merch is coming. I've been saying that for a long time, but I swear to God it's coming. We're getting closer. We're inching closer to finally getting an actual release happening. I have actually sent actual art to someone to give me some copies of some, I want to get some prints, so I know what they look like before we go full in. But we're at that stage, and I've already got basically the site. It's ready to rock and roll. I just want to make sure shit looks good before I actually offer it to the public and get in some kind of weird spot there. But yeah, we're getting fucking close, though.
It's happening, baby.
There'll be a bunch of cool designs to pick from. Yeah. If we make that one into a picture, we have to give royalties to Mandy for the rest of her life. She'll be living off of this art, this artwork.
Yep.
A publicly unbuzzed T-shirt. That's not a pretty good idea, actually, because there's a lot of people that come through here that don't partake or don't drink at all.
Yep.
Thank you, Dogs Over Humans. Love that. I know Dago. Yeah, a bunch of folks come through here. Enigma 9 Sigma with the 199 super. Thank you very much. Wait, did that? Hold on. Hold on. Get it up here. Boom. Love it.
This is gun country. This is gun country.
Thank you guys. My sound effects.
All right, let's get her shut down. I've actually got to go.
Dan's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. We do got to work tomorrow, folks.
I mean, if you want to keep
work.
going, I'll dip and you can keep going if you feel like it.
I was about to shut her down myself, guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much again. Appreciate the hell out of it. As you head out the door, hit the like. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hit us up. Thursday, again, Friday. I'm telling you, keep that in mind. Friday night is gonna be fucking fun. Yeah, tune in tomorrow night. Drunk Turkey is gonna have Dave on, the witness. Gonna check it out. Appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Love you guys. Good night.
See, we shoot them up bang bang over here. We not scared of they motherfucking ass.